Well, hello again, friends. This is Mr. Bickel, and I am here to give you a second lesson on cartooning. And I'm so glad you joined me today. I'm going to just start off by giving you a really quick refresher about what we did in the last lesson, and then we will move on forward. So, once again, all you'll need for this is a pencil and a piece of paper. You could use a marker or a crayon or a pen if you'd like, but grab a little something for to write on and something to write with. And I'm going to change the camera so you can see the drawing board I'm working on today. All right, I'll see you again in a moment here. Okay, well, looks like I hope you can see most of that drawing board there. The angle's a little different than I thought, but let me see what I can do about that. Well, I think we're gonna go with that. I'll make sure to work in this upper area. Um, so the last time we met, I showed you how to draw a basic cartoon face, and I've heard from some people who say, "Oh gosh, I can't do that. I can't draw at all." Um, so I just thought, well, let me show you. Maybe you don't think you can draw at all, but I've put some basic things up here on the top of the board here. Just a couple of things. Here's a letter C. You can probably all do that pretty well. And following that, I put just a couple of dots. I know you can do that, no doubt. And here's just a little hook. It's kind of a J going a little bit backwards. I think you can manage that if you try, right? And after that, there's a C, but this one's going backwards the other way. So if you can do this C, you can probably do this one too. And here are just a bunch of squiggly lines, and boy, they can be any way you'd like them for these cartoons. So I think that you can manage that part. And finally, there's just another little line here. And so even if you think you can't draw, all you need to do is be able to make these shapes in the right order and in the right places, and you too can draw a cartoon face. And I'll show you just what I mean by that. And then we'll move on to using that face and adding a body to it. So, once again, this first shape is a C. It's a little bit flattened, so I'll draw it like that. We'll make a letter C that's just a little flatter than we might usually use. Something like that, a little flat. All right, now so I've used that one, check there. Now I'm gonna go add two eyes. I'm gonna take those eyes and put them right up here in the upper right corner of that C. There we go. You can make them a little bit big if you like, or a little small. It doesn't really matter too much. So we've used that shape. All right, now I'm gonna make this shape, this sort of backward J. Not too difficult, but I'm gonna put it in the right spot. So I'm going to come down here to the middle of that C, and I'm just going to make that shape right about there like that, okay? Similar to what I had up there. There's lots of flexibility with this kind of stuff, so don't worry about it if it's not perfect. Now that one's done. All right, now I've got a backwards C. I know I can do that. And I come over here to this big C, a flattened C, and I'm going to do the backward C right over here. I know you can do that too. Look at that. I'll bet yours is great. And you can see we're already getting so close to a face here by just making some basic shapes in the right spots. Let's check that off the list. All right, this is a fun one. You can go wild with this one. Put some wavy or straight or any kind of hair you'd like up here on top of this head. So I'll just start up here and do some wavy lines, a couple of wiggly ones sneaking off there that didn't get caught by the comb. There we go. And now finally that's done. I'm just gonna take this little shape here, bring it down here and make a smile. All right, we've got a basic cartoon face. Okay, now this looks like a boy or young man face. Later on as we go along, I'll show you how you can adjust this to any kind of face, a young child, an infant, or a woman, or a young girl, or we'll even use some of the same techniques for drawing animals later if you stick with me here. So, but I'm going to clear the board, and then I will show you how we can move from this to having a face on a body. Okay, so let's clear away. You can flip your paper over if you've got some blank paper on the other side, or if you've got some room on the paper you've got, go ahead and use that. So once again, I'm going to show you some basic shapes that we're going to use for this. So none of this is terribly complicated. It's just a matter of sometimes putting things in the right spot. So we're going to make a shape right here. I'm going to do it a little larger than the other ones we were using. Just kind of a basic circle. Just about like that. So if you would go ahead and draw a circle of your own on your paper, okay, then we're going to turn this into what we refer to as a keyhole shape. Now, keyholes don't really look like this any longer, but in the old days, keyholes kind of had a shape like this. If this were all jet black, it would be sort of a keyhole kind of shape. So that's our basic body that we'll start from. Okay, if you've got it that far, then what I'm going to do is show you how we're going to go back now to the face that we made earlier, and we'll add some of those elements to this. So if you remember, we made a backward C, didn't we? So I'm going to start about here, and I'm just going to make this backward C about here. Okay? And then, if you recall, we had two dots up around the right corner of that backward C. So I'm going to make one of them right about here, and then maybe another one right about there. Okay, so we're getting the idea. Okay, now we've already got the rest of that face coming down here in a basic way, so we don't need to actually add that jaw line that we were doing before. But we will need to come back here across from that nose and add a backwards C for that ear. So we can do that right in here somewhere. It can be forward a little bit, backward a little bit more. That's all okay. So we've got that backward C just as we did before. And then, of course, you can come up top and add some kind of hair. You can add all sorts of hair here. You can add some toward the back if you want. Add some messy hair, some spiky hair. There's all different ways you can do that. But just add a little hair up top there, whatever kind of hair you like. All right, I'll leave it like that. It looks like someone just rolled out of bed. Okay, kind of morning bedhead. Okay, now if you remember, we had to come back down here and add a mouth, and I'm going to once again make that a smiling face here. So here we go. We've got a very basic smiling character. Okay, and then we're going to add some of the other parts of the body. So we can just, one simple way to get an arm in there is just to draw a line around here, maybe make it go part way down and across, and then you can add some fingers there. And with cartoons, I wouldn't worry too much about exactly the right number of fingers. They just sort of have to look like a hand, the shape of a hand. You can get pretty free with that kind of thing. So don't feel like you have to squeeze 5 fingers in that space if it's not looking right. And then you can come over to this side, and you could have another hand that's on the outside of the shirt, perhaps. Maybe something like that, and some fingers once again for just a basic shape. Okay, and then we're going to come down to the legs and just draw some straight lines down first, just about like that. Okay, make it really easy on yourselves, and then see, we'll draw another line right about here, and we can put some feet coming out this way on this character because it looks like he's kind of looking that direction. So in a real basic way, we've got something that represents feet and pants and a shirt and a head and hands, and we can do all kinds of things to add to make the shoes look certain ways. We can make these into shorts or long pants, you know, but there's so many different things you can do once you get this basic, what's called a keyhole shape down. Okay, so I'm going to clear that away, and I'll give you one more run through on that just to refresh your memory, and then I'll let you go practice. So once again, I'm going to draw a keyhole shape, a circle with sort of a body that flares out just a little bit. Okay. From there, I'm going to add that flattened C nose and a couple of eyes. And then I'm going to come back around here and do that reverse C for an ear. I'm going to go right up and add some wavy hair for this guy. Yep, maybe little dots in the back there. You got a little short buzz cut in the back and left the top going long. And now we can make a little smile here. As you can see, there's just so many things you can do. Just practicing that keyhole shape and then adding features. Those eyes could easily become a big pair of cool sunglasses if you wanted them to. And that could be really fun. So then after you've got the face and the hair and those eyes and the mouth, now you're going to just come down here, make sort of an L shape within the body for a real basic hand. And just get some fingers there like that, perhaps. And you can do the same on the other side. You can do something coming out like this just a little bit to show where a hand might be. Okay. All right, then you're going to draw a line down here for one leg. And since he's facing this way, you know, you're going to see more of one leg than the other. So that's why I didn't make a line straight in the center here. We're going to make this line about here and then another one over here. So this leg is closer to us and a little bit wider. And then you can pick the angles for the feet to go. And then you can create shoes. We'll work on those features a little later on. But I wanted to get you started on doing this in a way that you can practice making some characters like this with emphasis on getting consistent size. So I don't have lines here, but if we had lined paper where, okay, the head goes about here, and then there's a line like we did with writing paper. You might have a line like this. You want to try to get some lined paper and maybe try to draw characters that are about the same size over and over like that. So on your paper, it covers maybe 3 or 4 lines on your lined paper, and that can be a really fun way to practice and just get used to them being consistent. There's so many directions you can go with cartooning. It's going to be really fun to do some of this with you. As you can see, you can add a little color in no time, and I made a little Greenwood shirt for this guy. I really miss you guys. I hope that you're well, and I hope that you're finding some fun things to do, and perhaps this will be one of the fun things that you do during your time. And it's a good day, good activity for a rainy day. It's a good fun thing to do outdoors on a sunny day, and it doesn't cost too much of anything. It's just time and fun. And save your drawings, and maybe we can figure out a way to get some copies of them so we can share what you're doing. I hope it's really fun for you. I miss you, and I hope you're well, and bye for now.